Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Bodybuilding and the restaurant business have a lot in common. Great chefs and great athletes both have their own unique styles and flavors that draw people in. But the other big thing with both of them is consistency. It isn't just that they're great, it's also that you know you're going to get something great every time. And that puts Jeremy Buendia in a tough spot. On one hand, he's the GOAT of the division. No one's ever been that good for that long, period. Full stop. But then on the other hand, there were times during his run where people questioned his consistency because the flavor just didn't feel quite right. So now that he's back in the kitchen again, I think it's only fair to wonder if he can get things cooking again, because we've already had 2 new trendy spots open up shop right there on his block. I know a lot of people are still up in arms about the decision to cancel the events at the Arnold Classic last weekend, but hopefully they get the coronavirus situation under control soon so we don't end up having a repeat situation at the Arnold South America a few weeks from now, because the world needs to see Antoine Vaillant live from the arena. Antoine and his team seem like they put together a good game plan because he's looking better and better every time I see him. In truth, I don't know if he's ever looked this good at this weight before, which means he has the potential to be a lot more dangerous than people might think. So as long as we don't have a repeat of what happened in Columbus, Antoine can end up being a real X factor there in that lineup. Believe it or not, the start of spring is actually less than 2 weeks away, and that means soon the birds will be chirping and the flowers will be starting to bloom, and then, boom, before you know it, Luke Sandoe will show up and drop the hammer on the British Grand Prix. About a month ago, Luke announced his plans to compete at the British for his season debut, which on paper looks like he's coming in as the early favorite. Based on what I've heard, things on his end all seem to be in order right now. But if I were him, I'd stay on my toes, because when you have guys like James Hollingshead or Samson Dowda lurking out there, if you end up getting behind the 8 ball, you might not have enough wiggle room to recover. Not too long ago, a buddy of mine bought me a bottle of whiskey right from the distillery while he was on a trip to Ireland. And since David Henry's planning to make his way over there next month, I was hoping maybe he'd think about throwing another bottle next to the trophy in his bag on his way home from the Muscle Contest Ireland. Recently, the former Olympia champ announced he was planning to bring his talents to the other side of the Atlantic to compete in this year's contest. For David, this feels like a prime opportunity to collect a win and see a few sights as he gets acquainted with the 2020 season. Even at this stage of his career, a 100% David Henry is a force to be reckoned with. So if he's on his A game and travels well, I think he ends up taking this one to the bank. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.